Hello everyone and welcome back to Tales from the TBR. My name is Dorothy and today we have our January wrap-up. Now, we're going to do wrap-ups differently this year, so I will be talking about all of the books that I've read. I'll be talking about all of the books that I've hauled, all the books that I've DNF'd, as well as all of the TVs and movies that I've watched within the month. This is because I enjoy tracking what TV and what movies and TV that I've been watching, and I also want to see how many books I've been hauling throughout the year. So without further ado, let's start with the books that I've read, because we've got a nice beginning of the year to talk about. The first book I finished in January is Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This was the Kiss and Tell book club pick. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I did as well as Hibbert. There will be a live show for this with the rest of the hosts for the book club, and those details will be in the description below. Overall, I really enjoyed this story. I found Darcy and Elle to be quite compelling characters for me. I enjoyed the sarcasm as well as their banter, and I liked how their conflict was solved, and then it doesn't, like, the conflict was solved and then that was it. Like, we were done. We didn't have to continue on. There wasn't an epilogue from marriage or anything like this. It was just exactly what I needed to get me started throughout the year. The next book I read was on my Kindle, and it was my buddy read with Talia. That was Playing Hard to Get by Monica Murphy. I give this book 3 stars. Overall, it was an okay book. I felt like it could have been severely cut down. Both Talia and I ended up agreeing that the story ended up being very repetitive, and it just didn't really, and then there was also just not a conflict between them at all. It did not follow the romance trope of always having a third act conflict, which was fine, but also it kind of felt like it needed one to be a better story. It was just really long, really repetitive, lacking in a conflict or in really any kind of plot necessarily. So overall, I gave it 3 stars. It was an okay book. I don't think I will read the second one in this series, which would be for Knox's sister. The back of that book read exactly like the first one, so I will not be continuing that series. So unfortunately, there's that. The next 2 books that I've finished are both in the Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones, as well as City of Ashes. You will hear my full thoughts on these books once I have my Mortal Instruments vlog up, but I did read both of these this month. I know the goal originally was to read the entire series. I ended up not doing that because the audiobooks for this series are terrible. I couldn't do it. It was really bad, so I do have to physically read them, which does take me more time. But City of Bones ended up being 3.5. City of Ashes was 2.5. You guys, again, will hear my full thoughts on those in the video when they do come up. But yes, we did get our Mortal Instruments on. As for the books that I've DNF'd this month, we do actually have 3, sadly, which is kind of unfortunate. 2 of them you guys already know about if you watch my Abby Jimenez vlog, and that would be The Friend Zone as well as the Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. Both of these were DNF'd because of the characters. The Friend Zone because I could not stand the writing style involved with the characters. It just overly felt like Kristen and Josh were very annoying, and I did not care about them at all. We would go from having very serious conversations about infertility, and then we would be talking about the most divine member she's ever seen, and it just wasn't connecting. As for the Happy Ever After playlist, if you guys have seen the video, you know that I ranted about this. I ended up DNFing this like very close to almost 70% through. I ended up DNFing it because we had this conflict that felt like it should be the third act conflict. And then once it was solved, it felt like we just had a complete character swap. Like a character personality just transformation suddenly. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but that vlog is there and linked in the description down below if you guys want to watch it. Overall, again, I felt like the characters were not sticking to who they were previously throughout the book, and then after the conflict that we had, there ended up being still 100 pages left, and then certain things happened directly after that conflict that really frustrated me and did not feel natural to the characters, so I DNF'd it. As of literally yesterday while filming this, I DNF'd Consider Me by Becka Mack, which was very sad for me. I was overall enjoying it originally, and I was really thinking we were getting a slow burn, which I don't often read slow burn, but when I do find out that it's a slow burn, I love it. I enjoy the angst and the getting to this moment where we can both accept the fact that yes, we have feelings for each other. But at 26% in is where I ended up DNFing, and it is because we have this very important conversation between our two main characters about how, because of our male main character Carter's playboy reputation as well as persona that is in the media, Olivia, our female main character, feels like she cannot trust him, which is why she won't go out with him, despite the fact that she does have feelings for him. We have this very open conversation about that, and how Carter doesn't know what he wants, but he just knows that he wants her. And she literally tells him, I don't want anything if you're not going to be, I don't want anything but a serious relationship. And Carter, obviously, with his persona, which is very much true because he is a player, says, well, I would like to try. Can I try? And she just continually says, I don't think so. I don't know. And then we have this moment where they do end up having sex. And it just felt like it was there because the author wanted them to do it. It didn't feel right necessarily. And there's this moment where Carter does essentially stop what's happening, but then for some reason Olivia continues it, and it was just kind of like giving me this icky feeling overall during this scene. And then after that scene, there's a line that was so ridiculous that I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Carter essentially calls his member a sword that he was sparring with, which was ridiculous. And then once Olivia wakes up, all of a sudden she's back to who she is and has decided that she can't be with him at all, despite the fact that literally last night she said yes and whatever. And I was just like, can't do this. Can't do this, I'm out. So unfortunately, I did end up DNFing that. It made me really sad to do so because I really had high hopes for that book. As you guys know, I love a hockey romance in general. I love a sports romance. So the fact that it was a DNF felt really sad. Now, before I talk about the books that I've hauled this month, I'm going to talk about the TV show that I watched this month, which is a little ridiculous. In January, I only watched, and I mean only watched, seasons 2 through 4 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I did end up stopping at season 4 because the reunion was just ridiculous and I decided to give up. I couldn't keep up anymore. Things were just constantly being said about children and I was like, I'm out. But I did watch seasons 2 through 4 this month, whilst I just needed things on in the background. Overall, it was fine. You know, I don't really have a rating for it yet, but I do just, like having a trashy reality TV show to put on while my brain is freaking out, to let my brain, turn off for a bit. So I did do that. I'm not proud of it, but I did do it. And hopefully next month I could tell you that I watched so many better things. And now onto the books that I hauled this month. We have a lovely little stack. We only have 5, but you know what? It's a good 5. We have Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This was a anticipated release for me, so I picked it up the day it came out because I was like, I need it. It's very short and floppy. It is a YA contemporary, and I will hopefully be reading it in February, so hopefully I can give you guys my thoughts on that very soon. The next one I had read about on either Goodreads or NetGalley, and that is The Valentine's Hate by Sidney Halston. I hope I can maybe fit this in February because it is centered around Valentine's Day, but I'm not sure if I will get there. But it is overall a romance, and I think it's going to be cute, so I picked that up. Then we have this absolutely stunning edition of The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I did originally have the hardcover of this, which I did end up selling because I saw this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful paperback, and I said I can't not have this. It literally has like these beautiful like gold flecks all over it. I couldn't say no, and the paperback is so floppy. I was obsessed. So, and it was also on the buy one get one 50% off pile, so like I couldn't say no. And then we have one of my 23 and 23 books, which I hadn't yet owned, but now because it was on the buy one get one 50% off sale, I got the Atlas 6 by Olivie Blake, which I'm excited about because it also is very floppy. I hope I can get to this soon. I did just get the audiobook in for my library, so we will see when I can get here, but yes, got this one. And finally, the book I was waiting to come out all of January. I got The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. I'm so excited. As you guys know, this is on my February TBR. I can't say that I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing the instant it's February 1st and read this right away, because I feel like that's going to happen. I read the back of it on the weekly vlog that you guys will see, and I was screaming. This is over 500 pages of Lauren Asher just being Lauren Asher, and I can't wait. I literally can't wait. I also am just like screaming. So that is your January wrap up. Those are the books that I've read. Those are the books that I've hauled. Those are the books that I DNF'd and the shows that I've watched. I hope you guys like this format. Let me know if you do. So without further ado, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below how your how your month has been. What you think of the books that I hauled and read and DNF'd and everything like that. And if you guys like this content, make sure to subscribe. I post a weekly vlog every single Wednesday and the occasional Sunday video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!